FPUC. You may have started FPUC and unemployment and UI in March of this year. Well, it's been 30 weeks. It's been 30 weeks. And guess what? When Biden comes in, he's promising $600 a week retroactive back to the date at which you went off of FPUC. 30 weeks at $600 a week is $18,000. It's a lot of money. So are you going to get $18,000? Are you going to get less? And even if you got less, $400 a week, that's $12,000. The retroactiveness of FPUC has been a big question for viewers of this channel. But in this video, I do a throwback to applying for UI, PUA, and more. I answer questions that are commonly asked about the application for PUA and UI, how to certify for benefits, how to ensure your benefits are paid, and the common and easy questions to those comments and questions as well. So enjoy this throwback video on an overnight LALATE broadcast, and see you next on Early Mornings LALATE. Have a good morning. What is the difference between UI benefits and PUA benefits? And why are states making it much more complicated than it needs to be? Hey everybody, this is Tuesday and this is LALATE. Hope you are good and safe. Thanks for tuning in. As always, like and subscribe to this channel and drop your comments below, and we may feature them in tomorrow's recording. And we'll be answering shortly all 18 of your PUA questions from Monday's taping about PUA Uber and Lyft drivers, which sparked a lot of viewership and a lot of questions. But first, the surprising news. As you know, from the very first day that Pandemic Unemployment Assistance PUA went live on April 28th in some states, they required you to apply for unemployment assistance as an independent contractor and first get a denial before applying for PUA. It seemed like a logical process, but it seemed quite screwy that one would have to apply for something to get a denial before proceeding to head with something to get an approval. But that's what they wanted. They wanted a denial for UI benefits, unemployment assistance benefits, as an independent contractor before you could apply for PUA. Now, in some states like Florida, they required you to do it twice, which I don't know why. But some viewers said they had to apply for two on lack of eligibility standards before going to PUA. But here we are with a realm of confusion that's erupted ever since. The confusion is the following. Lots of viewers of this channel over the last few days have detailed that they have been approved for PUA or unemployment assistance in their states in the wrong category, and that the states are progressing them accordingly. For example, Uber and Lyft drivers are PUA. You are an independent contractor because that's what Uber and Lyft categorizes you as. You are an independent contractor. You are not an employee of theirs. They don't write you a W-2. Now, let me first qualify that. Some states think that Uber and Lyft are misusing the system and that you really are an employee, and that in California they're actually suing Uber and Lyft over it. But that means much of nothing. You do not get a W-2 payment for Uber and Lyft. Yet, some states, for reasons that are really unclear, have been categorizing some viewers of this channel who are Uber and Lyft drivers as UI, as employees, and putting them under unemployment assistance, which is really confusing. Now, here's what's also confusing. Some viewers of this channel have been jumping back and forth between the two different platforms, which is totally unacceptable. You can't be both in and out of PUA and UI. Some viewers of this channel have asked the question, obviously prompted by confusion from their states, saying, well, I've used up my UI benefits. Can I now go do PUA? No. One has nothing to do with the other. Just because UI benefits are exhausted does not entitle you to go to PUA. PUA is for independent contractors. If you were paid under UI, you're an employee. You're not an independent contractor. You have no right to be going over to PUA. Now, what we do know is that unemployment assistance benefits run out at certain points. But the CARES Act extended them, added additional weeks of extensions. Some states have been slow or bad in getting those extensions processed, but there's no excuse for a UI payee, an employee who's getting UI benefits, to jump to PUA. It is not a mechanism that you qualify for. So there you go. You are one or the other, but in some states they're putting you in the wrong category. And as one viewer indicated in his comments the other day, he was actually in both of the categories, just not appropriate and totally confusing. So let's get to some of your 18 questions for PUA from yesterday. Gene Crom, Richmond, Virginia. We're on curfew at 8 p.m. By the way, I like to sit niche on the cactus plant behind you. There is no cactus plant behind me, but maybe I should get one. Sean Lazarus. So the person who asked about unpaid weeks means two things. One is that there's a waiting time to be unpaid, or second, that means you earned some type of income during that week or weeks. This is that you didn't report earnings and they found out they won't pay you, or they penalized you for that time. It's possible. I mean, Sean is referring to a viewer who commented from California, and his line item for a week of certification went paid, and then suddenly went to unpaid. And the viewer asked, what does unpaid mean? I said it probably means you've been disqualified for that week because of some answer you provided. Sean says it may have been because you didn't report earnings and they found out. I mean, I think here's an answer to the question. If you had answered something like to the question, are you willing to work in this week? And you said no. Were you physically able to work in this week? No. Well, then you don't qualify for benefits. So if you actually answer the questions wrong, you will get an unpaid answer. I probably should have said that in answering his question that day. Michaela, it's me again. It's me again too, Michaela. I applied for PUA, and finally, as of today, I finally heard from EDD. I got approval for regular UI and retroactive back to April 26th. Oh, that's wonderful, Michaela. Thanks to you. I legitimately wanted to call you as if we knew each other. Well, that's so kind. You're doing the most public service out there. Thanks for all the help. I continue to be a supporter of you, even in the post-pandemic, post-EDD, post-corona. Major bombshell to you. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Stay with us as LALATE expands this channel over the next couple of weeks. I understand that some of these videos will no longer be timely, as some of these grants and loan processes eventually run their course. We'll be expanding the breadth of coverage, including sports and entertainment news. So hopefully there is something for everyone in here, including financial news as well, going forward. So please patronize the new genres as we expand the coverage. Bill Lemon, now that I cleared the EIDL vortex, I'm refocusing on getting PUA via the infamous Washington State Security Department. It's been a month and a half since applying, getting conflicting messages, never have sent my wife nor I sent. There's no response. Any idea what to go forward? SBA was never helpful, but at least they answer the phone. I mean, we said that back at the very beginning, that at least SBA answers the phone. PUA and unemployment people just don't answer the phone. What I would recommend to you, Bill, is backdoor trickery. I would go around and figure out a phone number to sort of get it backdoored into the system and then get escalated in the call center. There is always a way with phone numbers to get escalated in a call center so you're a priority caller, even when they say the call lines are down or saturated and you can't get through. There are ways that if you press buttons and you get to someone and you say, I want to get in queue, can you put me ahead of someone else's queue, that you can do that. So you need to play a little telephone trickery in figuring out how to get someone on the phone by jumping ahead of the line. The other thing that always works well is just getting up very early in the morning and being the first caller as soon as the lines go up. Leanne, oh my God, make swag LA. This is the history in the making. Oh yes, oh LA, just call me LA. Forget trying to pronounce the last name, it's too complicated. Leanne, yeah, it's too hard. There's, I don't want to butcher your name, Leanne. Elmer, I forgot to listen. I look forward to listening to every video. Best YouTube channel ever. Well, thank you. If you're new to joining this channel, thank you. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell on the front of this channel so you get an alert when a new video goes live. It is so important. and watched the videos throughout Chicago. Are landlord rental property owners qualified for EIDL? Yes, but we've detailed on this channel that they are just getting rejected left and right. There's something with real estate they just hate. I don't know why. Ruby has a question. So according to the wording of the law, I'm required by law to apply for PUA as I may qualify even though I never worked over the table before. I'm on disability and the application makes me input work anyway, even though it's worded differently. Besides, if accepted, I cancel my benefits and I'm screwed in the long run. And what do? I need a bit of extra money to pay for supplies. I can't afford this. You are not required to apply for PUA. There is nothing that I am aware of in any law that says you must apply for PUA. And you can only apply for PUA if you're eligible. So you don't just apply for PUA if you don't have money to pay for supplies. There are certain criteria on the PUA application that says eligibility impacted by COVID-19. Make sure you read through those. Carson, why am I getting PUA when I was told I have a penalty week for 8 weeks? I gave them those weeks and was told after those penalties I'll receive my UI. And when I went to fill out the online application, the next thing you know, I'm getting 167, was automatically enrolled in PUA. When should I be getting my full benefits now? Do you know why that is? Why is it so hard to get in contact with EDD? The last question is the hardest, is the easy one to answer. Because they're they're low staff. I mean, no one on this channel can get through the EDD. I mean, they're literally unreachable. They are paying retroactive benefits. They're slow getting to retroactive benefits. I have heard from no viewers in this channel that they have gotten paid escalated benefits under EDD in California. Every viewer of this channel that is EDD has asked in the comments, how do you get the escalated benefits? I mean, they know how to do it because I've detailed to you how to do it. Financial documentation for 2019, a cover letter. But then they say, how do they communicate it to EDD? And I said, hey, for now, just send it priority mail, 2-day mail to send it to them. You don't get a response, do it again 2 days later. I mean, something's going to have to change very soon. Sylvia Gandhi, these people are upset for many reasons. They're not working, so they can't go out and protest. Pass a second stimulus, Congress. Yes, pass a second stimulus bill right now. Nancy, LALATE, great like always. When you apply for PUA, do you enter gross on or net as self-employed? Well, I mean, Nancy, that's a really hard question because in some states, you don't even enter the money. In some state, they don't even ask for the amount of money because they enter you at base level benefits. So it's not like you are certifying a certain amount of money to get to a certain level. Now, perhaps in your state, they ask for that amount of money. I think it is the line item before deductions, but I don't recall. I think it's your earnings before deductions. Maxwell Studio, my daughter was applying for PUA approval letter, next day not approved. Same day on both letters, we're in Alabama. Yeah, Maxwell, I answered yours a few days ago. I don't know what that means. I would just basically go into the portal and see what it shows her status as. If it shows she is an approved claim from now to December 31st, 2020, which is how they always phrase it, then she's good to go. If she isn't, then I don't know. BW Irving with a lot of emojis. So if you have a question about today's PUA, pandemic unemployment assistance, or any other issues regarding PUA, Uber and Lyft, or unemployment assistance extensions, drop them in the comments below by 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Wednesday, and we'll feature them in that video. And we'll drop additional videos in the links above about PUA for you to watch as well. As always, stay FLA for more.